darken a video to have it.
No, it's good.
You mean flash?
No, it's good. I recorded already. Yeah, okay. Oh my god.
She said it, I'm just going to it.
I know, I didn't say it.
Oh, how did you say that? Just repeating, because I thought it was funny. Sorry, okay. Woo. Ready whenever you are.
Okay, I'm not ready yet.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. Did you start?
Yeah.
Lots of my dying patients, this is a quote by the way, lots of my dying patients say they grow in bounds and leaps and finish all the unfinished business. But assisting a suicide is cheating them of those lessons, like taking a student out of school before the final exam. That's not love, it's projecting your own unfinished business, and that was said by physician Elizabeth Ross. And if you think about it, yes, we all hate exams, well most of us, if we're normal, hate exams, and so we spend a lot of time practicing for them and studying and things of that nature. Time and knowledge we wouldn't get if we didn't have those exams. So as much as we hate them, it really does teach us more knowledge that we can keep and transfer over into other parts of our lives. So one of us may be, hopefully not, but one of us may be affected by a terminal illness. One of us may have it, or may, not one of us, but perhaps one of our family members. So it's important that we're knowledgeable about this because it could hit home. So the World Federation of Right to Die Society defines assisted death as a model, and I quote, a model that includes both what has been called physician-assisted suicide and voluntary active euthanasia. And so I'm quite familiar with assisted death because I'm a member of Early College's debate team, and so we actually did a debate on this topic, so I was able to hear both sides. So I'm knowledgeable about both sides. So in this speech, I'll first provide you with background knowledge about the topic. Then I will tell you guys about a 2009 case of assisted death. And then finally, I'll tell you about the most recent case, Brittany Maynard, who killed herself, November 1st of this month. So it's quite recent. So the issue is still around. So first, let's talk about, like I said, the background information. So the official website of assisted suicide defines both parts of this. Let me explain it to you guys. It says, a doctor who intentionally kills a patient by the administration of drugs at the patient's voluntary and competent request is carrying out euthanasia. Then, if a doctor helps a patient to commit suicide by providing the lethal drugs for self-administration, so that way they don't actually do it, the patient actually does it, they are carrying out physician-assisted suicide. So there's two terms, but they both come together and form assisted death. So it has also been proven that people like lawyers and philosophers who have little to no experience with the patients, they tend to lean towards supporting assisted suicide. Then, on the other hand, there's people who are like the physicians, the nurses, and things of that nature, who flat out do not support it. And I'm guessing it makes sense that it would be that way because if you actually see a person and you're interacting with them and you're tending to the care of that patient, you don't want to see them die, so that would make sense. However, if you think about it, lawyers and senators and things of that nature, they're the people who are making the decisions because that's who we elect to put our laws, and so how does that make really much any sense? They don't have any experience with the people. You have to be knowledgeable about what you're talking about, and if you're not actually involved, how can you make an educated decision on it? So in this day and age, we have a lot of technology that can prolong life. So why cut it short? You never know. And to talk about the religious and moral debate, because since that's part of my thesis, none of us have the same religion. Well, not all of us, we don't know, have the same religion. However, it says that there's over 2,000 years, all of the major religions in the world have concluded that there's no justification in assisted death. So of all of the religions there's numerous out there, all the major ones, if they can agree on that one thing, I'm pretty sure it's valuable. So you should take that at hand. And all of that information came from the assisted suicide organization website, the official website, and also David Jeffrey. He had a book titled Against Physician and Suicide, a palliative care perspective book. So now that you have a bit of background information about the topic, let's move on to the 2009 case I was telling you guys about. So in 2009, there was a 52-year-old named Jeffrey Locker. He was a motivational speaker, and he loved life because obviously he's a motivational speaker, so you have to at least, like life at least. And so he was found in the back of his trunk. He was stabbed multiple times. And they included that he was in debt to make it seem as if it was right that he was killed. However, the 42-year-old Kenneth Miner said that Mr. Locker asked him to perform a Kerouacian death, which is named after another motivational speaker who also supported assisted suicide. And so he was basically saying that the reason I killed him is because he wanted it. And this case definitely represents a slippery slope, because if we legalize assisted suicide, of course it's legal in Oregon, you'll see in my next case I'm going to talk about, but if we legalize in all 50 states, where is it going to stop? We could say, I could kill Direct, and I could say, oh, she wanted it. Our society would just be in shambles and in chaos. So that's why it should not be legalized. And as of September of this year, he was sentenced to 12 years for manslaughter. And so all of that information came from a New York Times article titled, Harlem Man Pleads Guilty for Assisting 2009 Death. And that was written by James C. McKinley. And so if the court of law says Kenneth Miner is guilty, then so are his next victim and her accomplices. So Brittany Maynard, she committed assisted suicide earlier this month. The first was actually this month. Yeah, right.
Sorry. Actually, that might have been a sign. Because look, I don't have a picture of her for you guys. As soon as it goes,
This is her on her wedding day. She was very happy. Here she's speaking, so she looks her words look a little funny or anything like that. So that is Brittany Maynard. And she moved her family to Oregon to die under what they call Oregon's death with dignity law. However, you'll see after I'll give a quote from a Vatican City official who said that there's no dignity in dying or killing herself. And so she said that she put on record that she might kill herself on November 1st, but then last week she said that she might not. So as you can see, she was unsure, as a lot of these patients who are dying and terminally ill, they are unsure, so they're in no state of mind to make a life-ending decision. And so a Vatican official, as I was saying, said this: dignity is something other than putting an end to one's own life. And so he condemned her, as I do as well, because she would have never known. Maybe 6 months from now, we'll have a cure for her cancer that we had, but you never know unless you give life a try. And so today I've explained what assisted death is and the negative effects it has. Kenneth Miner was found guilty in the court of law, and so should have Brittany Maynard and her accomplices. The intention, there's a quote I saw from the assisted death website. Intention is morality, which means in all these cases, the intention was to cause death. Killing someone, death is illegal, and so is assisted suicide. So it's unjust. It's morally unjust. It's illegal, as I said. And in conclusion, some people could kill to get their loved ones back. But people like Kenneth Miner and Brittany Maynard were willing to throw life away like a broken toy. Doctors may say you have 6 months, but as all of us, we're human. We make mistakes. We don't know. We cannot foresee the future. So why give up on life? We must understand the value of life and remember the value of life, because it is so valuable. And with that being said, let's take a stand against people who are thinking about committing suicide, or if you guys ever know someone that are thinking about helping someone, let's convince them not to do that, because it's morally unjust, it's illegal, and life is valuable. So we have to remind them of that. Thank you.